In this video, we will practice finding coterminal angles and reference angles. Alright. Real quick, let's talk about reference angles for a second. When you have special angles, now when I'm talking about special angles, I'm talking about pi over 4, pi over 6, pi over 3, or pi over 2. Okay, these are special angles. So the reference angle when you have a special angle is really simple. It's just going to be pi over the denominator. So as soon as I see 11 pi over 6, that's a special angle. I know the reference angle is going to turn out to be pi over 6. Alright, see that 4? That's special. The reference angle is going to be pi over 4. 11 is not one of my special angles, so I have to do more. Okay, there's another one, pi over 4. So I know the reference angle is going to be pi over 4 right there. Okay, and pi over 2. Well, you know what? Pi over 2 doesn't have a reference angle. Not applicable. And I'll mention that again in a second. Alright, so you know what I shouldn't have said. Pi over 2 is a special angle, but pi over 2 doesn't have a reference angle. And we'll talk about that when we get there. Alright, so I just wanted to knock that out. If you see pi over 6 or pi over 4 or pi over 3, then you'll do the reference angle this way. Alright, let's talk coterminal angles. 11 over 6 pi. Alright, let's look at 11 divided by 6. That is 1.8. So that's less than 2 pi already. So that means this is already between 0 and 2 pi. So I'm not going to add or subtract anything. Normally I would add or subtract 2 pi. But this one's already good. So I'm just going to leave it as 11 pi over 6. Now, what quadrant is this in? Alright, the sketch will help me. I'm dealing with the reference angle of pi over 6, so I'm going to divide this up into pi over 6's. So far that's pi, a semicircle. If I split it like this, now I have pi over 2, half pi. Now if I split each one of these into 3 pieces, then I'll have 6 up top. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I always do. So I'm going to split this one like this, and I'll split this one as well. Same type of thing happening over here. Okay, so now each one of these is pi over 6. Now I'm supposed to go 11 pi over 6. Alright, so if I do that, so that's 6 pi over 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 pi over 6 is going to be right here. Okay, so this was my standard position. This is 11 pi over 6. Whoops, I forgot the 11. This is 11 pi over 6. And obviously this is in the 4th quadrant, so making the sketch helps me see the quadrant. Alright, look at B. This one is negative. Alright, I need to get between 0 and 2 pi, so that means I need to add 2 pi to this. Okay, so I want to add 2 pi, but remember this is like 2 pi over 1. I need like denominators, right? So I'm going to wind up multiplying this by 4. So can you see that this is going to be 8 pi over 4? So that's what I'm going to really add here. So I'm going to go plus 8 pi over 4 to get my coterminal angle. So negative 3 plus 8 is 5. So that's going to be 5 pi over 4. So there's my coterminal angle right there. So what quadrant is this in? Well, drawing the sketch will help me see that. Alright, I'm sketching 5 pi over 4 right now. So here's my unit circle. Alright, there's pi over 2, and here's pi over 4. Okay, so each one of these is pi over 4. So 5 pi over 4. Alright, starting from standard position, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pi over 4 would be right here. Okay, that puts me in the third quadrant. Now look at C, 10 pi over 11. What's 10 divided by 11? Well, even without a calculator, I know this is going to be less than 1. So once again, this is already between 0 and 2 pi. So I don't need to change it. So I'm just going to recopy this 10 pi over 11. Don't go adding 2 pi, because that's going to make it bigger than 2 pi. So just recopy it. Now, what quadrant is this in? Well, let's do the sketch, and then we'll know. Okay, so here comes my unit circle. Alright, now, of course, this is not a special angle, so this is going to be a little bit different in our approach. Alright, so here's just our x and y axis. Now in terms of pi, remember that pi would be right here, and so that's like 1 pi. This is 1/2 pi, so this is like 0.5 pi is right here. Now when we looked at the decimal, 10 divided by 11 is 0.9 something. So 0.9 pi is a little bit less than 1 pi. It's clearly bigger than 0.5 pi. Alright, so if I start off in standard position, come on, let's go. So there's my initial side. The terminal side is going to be almost 1 pi, but it's 0.9, so it's going to be a little bit less. So my terminal side is going to be like right here. So this is what our sketch would look like for 10 pi over 11. So clearly that puts us in quadrant 2. But this sketch will also help us with the reference angle. Because it's not a nice special angle like pi over 4, pi over 3, or pi over 6, I'm going to have to do some subtracting to find my reference angle. So understand this. The reference angle of which I speak is this little guy right here. This is the reference angle where I just put that R. Now, notice that that R is between pi, which is here at the black line, and our 10 pi over 11. Okay, maybe I should move it closer. Okay, so this terminal side is 10 pi over 11. If I had gone a little bit further, I would have gotten to pi. So it's between these two. So if I want to find how big this is, I need to subtract. Okay, so that's why I need to do, for my reference angle, I need to do pi minus 10 pi over 11. Now I'm going to need like denominators here. So this is going to be like pi over 1, so I'm going to multiply by 11. Okay, so that makes this 11 pi over 11 minus 10 pi over 11. So what's that going to be? Well, 11 minus 10 is 1. So that's going to make it just pi over 11. Okay, so that will be the reference angle. Now that made it look like it works just like the special angles do. Oh, look, it's just pi over 11. But that's not always the case, so don't just think you stumbled on a magical shortcut that you can use all the time, because that will not always work, my friends. Well, let's look at D. 9 pi. Right? That's a nice multiple of pi. Drawing the sketch will help us figure out what's going on. So 9 pi is about to happen. So here's my unit circle. Okay, here's what, well, here's your y-axis and x-axis. Alright, standard position. So remember that pi is a semicircle. So let's just count it out. So if I go from here to here, that's 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi, 7 pi, 8 pi, and 9 pi. That is crazy. But 9 pi definitely puts me right here on the negative x-axis. So that means we are coterminal with pi. And by the way, if you're on one of the axes, if you're on the x-axis or the y-axis, there is no reference angle. So that's why this is going to be not applicable. There will be no reference angle. Quadrant, well, we're not in a quadrant, but we're on the negative, I'll just put, we're on the negative x-axis. Okay, and as far as a coterminal angle, pi. Alright, that puts us at the halfway mark of this particular exercise. So this is a convenient place to stop this video. So I have 4 more examples that I'm going to do in the next video. So I'll see you on the next video.